What if I told you the reason you don't have what you want is because you're trying to get it? That the act of reaching, visualizing, praying, scripting, begging the universe to deliver is not a bridge, but a wall? Nobody told you this because it would dismantle the entire manifestation industry overnight. But here's the paradox. Every time you try to attract a reality, you're secretly confirming you're separate from it. And the quantum field, the invisible fabric of reality, doesn't give you what you want. It mirrors who you are. That's why so many people meditate, journal, repeat affirmations, and yet watch their life stay exactly the same. Because while their words say, "I have," their frequency screams, "I lack." This is the secret you were never meant to hear. You don't pull your dream life into the present, you collapse into it. Right now, in this moment, every version of you, abundant, loved, healthy, radiant, already exists in the quantum field like channels on a radio. You're not summoning them from some distant future. You're tuning into them, and the only dial that matters is your emotional signature. The field doesn't care about your rituals, your vision board, or how hard you've been good. It reads only one thing with mathematical precision: your coherence between thought, feeling, and identity. This means the real work is not out there. It's not chasing signs, scripting harder, or visualizing longer. It's about remembering, returning, recalibrating. It's about becoming now who you thought you had to wait to be. This is the shift from attraction to embodiment, from trying to tuning. Once you understand this, the noise quiets, the chasing stops, and a strange, powerful stillness enters your life, the stillness of resonance. This isn't motivation. This isn't hype. This is forbidden physics disguised as spirituality, and once you know it, you can't unknow it. The question is, are you ready to stop attracting and start collapsing? Most people fail at manifestation not because they lack discipline or clarity or even faith, but because they are vibrating in contradiction. They wake up and meditate for 10 minutes, eyes closed, imagining abundance, health, or love. For those 10 minutes, their frequency rises. They touch a glimpse of what it feels like to already have it. But the moment they return to their day, they check their bank balance with anxiety. They replay their heartbreak in their mind. They rehearse the story of lack and disappointment. And the frequency they broadcast for the other 23 hours and 50 minutes is exactly opposite to the signal they sent in meditation. The field doesn't average the two out. It reflects back the dominant state, the habitual baseline. Think about it. You can say, "I am abundant" with your lips, but if your body is still contracted in fear every time you spend money, what do you think the field is responding to? The body doesn't lie. Your subconscious doesn't lie. They are the real transmitters, far stronger than your affirmations. This is why people script their desires for months, light candles, chant mantras, but feel secretly frustrated, because the rituals were never the point. Frequency is the point, and until you align your identity with the reality you claim to desire, nothing changes. Here's the deeper truth. Manifestation is not about earning. It's not about convincing the universe. It's not about perfect timing. It's about coherence. When what you think, what you feel, and who you believe yourself to be are in harmony, reality collapses around you in impossible ways. Call it God, call it quantum physics, call it the subconscious. It doesn't matter. The mirror of reality only knows one language: vibrational alignment. And this is the trap that keeps millions stuck. They focus on the outer world, trying to push reality into shape, while ignoring the single mechanism that determines everything: their inner state. They try to change the reflection without changing the face in the mirror. They want love, but still embody fear of rejection. They want abundance, but still feel unworthy. They want health, but still identify as fragile. And the field, loyal and neutral, reflects it all back with chilling precision. So the first step is not doing more. It's seeing differently. It's realizing that manifestation is not attraction. It is calibration, not pulling in, but tuning in. The work is not to reach outside, but to reprogram within. Because until you shift your frequency, your reality has no choice but to repeat itself. Science has already whispered what spirituality has been screaming for centuries. Reality does not exist in a fixed state until it is observed. In the quantum world, particles don't sit in one place waiting for us to measure them. They exist in probabilities, infinite potentials, until consciousness locks one version into form. This is called the observer effect. And here's the forbidden connection. You are not just the observer of your reality. You are the tuner that collapses one version of it into experience. Right now, every possibility of you already exists. The wealthy you, the healthy you, the loved, radiant, powerful you. They're not fantasies, they're quantum probabilities vibrating in the field like radio stations, and the universe is not deciding which one you get. You are. With your state of being, every thought you repeat, every emotion you rehearse, every identity you cling to, it all sends out a signal, and reality, like a mirror, responds with terrifying precision. This is why change feels so hard, because your subconscious is the true broadcaster and it has been programmed for years, maybe decades. If your subconscious story is, life is hard, money never comes, people always leave, then that is the frequency you're broadcasting, whether you like it or not. Affirmations on top of that are like whispering over a blaring speaker. The subconscious always wins. It is the transmitter, the unseen hand shaping matter around you. So the key isn't trying harder, the key is rewriting the program, changing the baseline frequency you broadcast, and you don't do this by force, but by embodiment, by teaching your body what it feels like to live in the reality you want, before it appears. You practice gratitude as if it already exists. You rehearse joy without waiting for permission. You let your nervous system become familiar with abundance, with love, with safety. So familiar that the subconscious accepts it as normal. And once it's normal inside, it has no choice but to become normal outside. This is the true science of manifestation, not attraction, but collapse, not hoping, but harmonizing, not begging the universe, but remembering you are the universe, folding itself into form. Here's the paradox. The reality you want cannot arrive until you stop waiting for it, because waiting is lack, wanting is separation. Every time you say, I'll feel abundant when the money comes, you're broadcasting poverty. Every time you say, I'll feel loved when the right person appears, you're broadcasting loneliness. You're telling the field, I am not yet, and the field, obedient and merciless, mirrors back, so be it. The only way out is embodiment. To step into the frequency of the reality now. Not someday, not when the proof arrives, but now, in this moment. That doesn't mean delusion, it means calibration. It means teaching your nervous system to normalize the vibration of the future you desire until it feels as natural as breathing. Think about it. If you were already wealthy, how would your body feel as you walked into a store? Relaxed, expansive, unhurried? That's the vibration to practice. If you were already deeply loved, how would your chest feel? Open, safe, warm? That's the signal to broadcast. If you were already free, already healthy, already radiant, what would your mornings feel like? Calm, empowered, playful? That's the reality to embody. Most people wait for life to give them permission before they allow these feelings. But the forbidden truth is this: the field only reflects what you already feel, not what you want, not what you beg for, what you normalize. You have to become the vibration before the evidence appears, not after, before. That is the collapse. This is why people who carry gratitude, joy, and certainty often seem to magnetize miracles effortlessly. Their external world bends to match their internal state. It's not luck, it's law. And the ones who stay stuck are the ones who keep rehearsing lack, rehearsing waiting, rehearsing frustration. They embody the opposite frequency of what they claim to desire, and the field mire roars that back without fail. Embodiment is not pretending. It's not faking, it's rehearsing until your body accepts the new state as its default setting, until abundance feels ordinary, until love feels inevitable, until peace feels natural. Because the moment your subconscious accepts a state as normal, reality collapses to match it. Not in years, not in decades, but instantly, because in the field, the version already exists. Here's the part nobody wants to admit: manifestation never fails, not once, not for anyone. The field is so exact, so obedient, that it mirrors back your dominant state with surgical precision. If your life looks chaotic, it's not because the law is broken. It's because it's working flawlessly. If you keep attracting unavailable partners, if money slips away the moment it arrives, if opportunities vanish just before they manifest, it isn't random, it's resonance. Your subconscious frequency is broadcasting, and the universe is simply echoing it back. Always. This is where most people spiral. They think, it's not working, I'm doing the meditations, I'm scripting, I'm visualizing, why isn't anything changing? But what they don't realize is that their rituals are surface-level signals. The field doesn't respond to your rituals, it responds to your core identity. If you meditate in the morning about being abundant but spend the rest of the day worrying about bills, the dominant vibration is lack. If you script about love at night but wake up rehearsing heartbreak in your mind, the dominant vibration is abandonment. That's what the mirror reflects. Think of reality like a cosmic algorithm. It doesn't care about your likes or your temporary spikes of energy. It calculates based on your habits of frequency, the emotional state you rehearse the most. That becomes the algorithm's recommendation, and it shows you matching experiences over and over. That's why your life feels like déjà vu. The same cycles, the same lessons, the same frustrations. Not because you're cursed, not because God is ignoring you, but because you're broadcasting the same frequency, and the field is too loyal to betray it. Here's the forbidden twist. If you truly understood how perfectly the mirror works, you'd stop doubting it forever. You'd realize that even the delays, the failures, the ear misses are still manifestations of your dominant vibration, proof that the law is intact, proof that nothing slips through the cracks, and the moment you stop seeing misalignment as failure, you reclaim your power, because you finally understand, the question is never, is it working? The question is always, what am I broadcasting? Once that lands, you stop begging, you stop chasing, you stop doubting, and you start tuning, because the mirror never lies. So how do you tune? How do you stop broadcasting the frequency of lack and finally step into coherence? The answer is deceptively simple, yet so few ever practice it. You shift your state first, before the evidence. Most people wait for reality to give them permission. They say, I'll feel secure when money arrives. I'll feel loved when someone shows up. I'll feel confident when I succeed. But that's not tuning, that's reaction. And reaction only locks in your current station. To tune is to flip the script. I feel secure, so money aligns. I feel loved, so love appears. I feel confident, so success collapses around me. Tuning is not about force, it's about rehearsal. You train your body to feel the emotions of the version of you that already exists. Gratitude, safety, freedom, expansion. Not once, not occasionally, but until your nervous system accepts them as your baseline. Until they feel ordinary, until they feel inevitable. Because once the body normalizes a state, the subconscious broadcasts it 24/7. That's when the mirror has no choice but to shift. Here's the dangerous secret. You don't have to know how your reality rearranges. You don't have to control the mechanics. The field is infinitely more intelligent than your mind. Your only job is coherence. To lock in the emotional signature of the reality you choose. When your thoughts, feelings, and identity align, the quantum field collapses a matching version instantly. Sometimes it shows up as synchronicity, sometimes as an opportunity, sometimes as an impossible chain of coincidences, but it always shows up. This is why tuning feels paradoxical. You celebrate before there's proof. You relax before the problem is solved. You feel gratitude before anything changes, and the ego screams, that's fake, that's delusional. But the field doesn't care about your ego, it only cares about your frequency. Fake it long enough, and it stops being fake. It becomes embodied. It becomes who you are. Most people will never do this. They'll keep waiting for evidence, stuck in the same loop. But the ones who dare to tune first, to feel it before they see it, they're the ones who collapse timelines. They're the ones who bend reality. Because they understand, the signal comes before the station. The greatest sabotage in manifestation is not doubt. It's time. Every time you wonder, when is it coming? How long will it take? Why isn't it here yet? You're unconsciously broadcasting the frequency of waiting. And what does the mirror do with waiting? It reflects more waiting. The field doesn't hear your words, it hears your state. And if your state is not yet, then not yet becomes your reality forever. This is the cruel trick of time. Your mind thinks in linear steps, past, present, future. But the field doesn't. In the quantum, everything exists simultaneously. All versions of you, all timelines, all outcomes, already alive, already real, already vibrating. The field isn't holding your desires hostage. It isn't testing you. It's already available. The only delay is the lag between your new frequency and your body's willingness to stabilize it. Think of it like tuning a radio. The station doesn't slowly build itself once you find the dial. It's already broadcasting. But if you keep twisting the knob back and forth, doubting, checking, waiting, you never land on the signal long enough to hear the song. That's what most people do with manifestation. They meditate for 5 minutes, then check for proof. They affirm abundance, then panic over bills. They declare love, then obsess over being single. They never hold the frequency long enough for the collapse to occur. Here's the forbidden truth. The collapse is instant. The moment you embody the frequency, the reality exists. The only thing missing is your awareness of it, and awareness can only shift when you stop asking when. Because asking when assumes separation. It assumes the thing you want is in the future, and if you assume future, you push it out of the now. The masters of this work don't chase, don't beg, don't wait. They embody, they normalize, they hold the frequency as if the desire has already arrived, because in the field, it has, and the more ordinary it feels inside, the faster it becomes ordinary outside. So the real question isn't, when will it happen? The real question is, how long will I keep postponing it by waiting? Here's the final secret most people never touch. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. Reality is not responding to your wish list. It's responding to your identity. And as long as you cling to the old self, the old story, the old wounds, you will keep collapsing the same timeline over and over. Identity is the strongest frequency you broadcast. If deep down you believe, I'm unlucky, I'm unworthy, I'm always struggling, then, even when opportunities appear, you'll unconsciously sabotage them. Because the field must stay coherent with who you think you are. The mirror doesn't break itself just to make you happy. It reflects the image you're holding, which means the most radical act of manifestation isn't asking for more, it's dying to who you've been. Identity collapse is the forbidden art. It means letting go of the version of you that's addicted to scarcity, addicted to rejection, addicted to struggle. It means no longer rehearsing the pain that made you, no longer finding safety in your suffering, no longer carrying the weight of who your past convinced you to be. You can't step into the abundant you while still gripping the identity of the broken you. You can't embody love while still playing the role of the abandoned one. You can't claim freedom while still worshiping your chains. So the real shift is this. You stop asking, how do I get what I want? And start asking, who do I need to become so this reality is inevitable? Because once you embody that version, the external world rearranges instantly, not as a reward, but as a mirror. That's why quantum teachers and mystics always say, you don't chase outcomes, you collapse identities, and once the identity collapses, the reality cannot resist. This is the step most people avoid because it feels like death. And in a way, it is. The death of the old self. The death of the familiar sufferi. The death of the identity you've rehearsed for years. But on the other side of that death is birth. The birth of a version of you who isn't manifesting anymore. They're just living it. Because for them, it's not extraordinary. It's normal. So here we are. You've seen the trap. You've seen the mirror. You've seen why chasing doesn't work. Why rituals without coherence are empty. Why waiting only multiplies waiting. You've seen that the field isn't listening to your words, it's responding to your being. And the forbidden truth is this. You already are the version of you you've been trying to become. Right now, in this moment. The only separation is the story you keep telling yourself. The universe is not withholding. God is not testing you. The quantum field is not slow. Everything you want already exists in parallel. Every timeline, every outcome already alive. The only question is, which one are you tuning into? And tuning isn't about force. It isn't about begging. It's about remembering. Remembering who you are before the world convinced you otherwise. The irony is that what you've been seeking has never been outside you. Not the money, not the love, not the freedom. Those are reflections. Shadows of the real work, the collapse of identity, the embodiment of coherence, the courage to stop waiting and start being. So here's the choice. You can keep playing small, waiting for the mirror to change while holding the same vibration, or you can collapse into the version of you that's already living the life you crave. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Because the moment you feel it, the moment you embody it, the field has no choice. It mirrors you instantly. This isn't magic, it isn't hype, it isn't even manifestation the way you've been taught. It's physics. It's law. It's the secret teachers feared you'd discover. You don't attract your reality. You are your reality. And once you see that, the game is over. The waiting ends. The chasing ends. All that's left is embodiment. So breathe. Tune, collapse. Step into the version of you who already exists, and watch the mirror bend. Because the secret is not that it's coming. The secret is that it's here, and the only thing left is for you to finally notice.